I loved when I read today's daily word. It was just a reminder to me of what is true, and that is that we will see what we're looking to see. We will find what we're looking to find. We will get an answer to whatever question we're asking. So Jesus said, "Ask and it shall be given." So it behooves me to discover what is it I'm asking for. It says to seek and I will find. But what am I seeking? Because certainly I will find it. And to knock on the door will be open. What door am I knocking on that I desire to be open? Today's daily word reminded me yet again and again and again that if I seek to see the presence of God everywhere, I will see the presence of God everywhere. As I seek to see my uncountable blessings that I am experiencing and am always surrounded by, then I will see it. If I ask for the joy that passes all understanding, I will receive it. If I ask to be blown away by the beauty of this world and the goodness of her citizens, I will have an awareness of it. I will marvel at the beauty of the world if I am seeking reasons to marvel at the beauty of the world. And today's daily word gives us tiny little big deals. Just seeing people talking and laughing together. If I seek to see that is a God connection, then I will see it. Someone holding a door open for another human being. It can bring me to tears if I allow it, because I don't just see someone holding a door open. I see love on display, respect given, the honoring of one human being in honor of another. I can be blown away by sunlight just coming through the window of my kitchen and kissing the edge of a glass jar and giving off rainbow light. I have endless opportunities to rejoice if that is what I choose to do. I am so blessed that this is my daily practice. And I have found myself getting, as in my family, we would joke around and say, I'm getting betterer and betterer and betterer and betterer at being a happy camper on planet Earth. I'm getting betterer and betterer and betterer at rejoicing in the Lord always. I'm getting betterer and betterer and betterer at appreciating every little thing I have, because there are no little things I have. The little things are big things. I'm getting betterer and betterer and betterer and betterer at extending the love that has been extended to me. And so it's ours for the asking. Whatever we desire, we can have for the asking. But someone earlier in the service, I believe it may have been you, Raleigh, and your testimony, it's worth remembering. I cannot have two opposing thoughts held at the same time and experience any level of true and abiding joy. I can't be happy and also mad at the same time. If I have something or someone I'm mad about, angry with, have an issue with, or a grievance with, I can't be happy because I can't be happy and mad at the same time. I can't play the game of being a victim and invoicing other people or life itself or the government, my early childhood experiences, my ex. I can't play the blame game with them and at the same time be free. In my experience, I must hold fast to one desire to be God and to see God always and forever in all things. And I love that the voice is constantly giving me little assignments and telling me how it wants me to move into a new step. So the one I want to share with you right now is a deep revelation. I've always known it, but has deepened. Some 25 or more years ago, I had two deacons. One was Deacon Timothy and one was Deacon Luke. Two young men of about the same age who signed on to be my deacons, which meant that they signed on to be of service to me in any capacity that they were able in forwarding my ministry. And I can remember so excitedly coming into the office, telling them I had another dream. Oh my God, I get all this stuff. I get my songs from dreams. I get my sermons from dreams. I get this or that. Well, I got an idea from a dream. And I'll break in right now to say that the idea I never followed through with because I believe there were two people in the community at the time that I was excited about my dream who made transition, and we immediately got involved in taking care of all the arrangements for their celebrations of life. And I never got back to it. So 3 weeks ago, in a dream, I dreamed that I dreamed 25 years ago and that I'd shared my dream with Deacon Luke and Deacon Timothy. And this was the dream and the idea which didn't get followed through with. I said that I wanted us to make printed T-shirts and printed sweatshirts or patches. And then the patch that we would wear would be a declaration of a request that we were making and our reason for making the request. Handle with care, please. Precious and fragile content inside. Because I wanted to remember that that was the truth about me and my human experience. That my desire is that I be handled with care, please. Because there is precious and fragile cargo inside. And I wanted everybody to wear one. So while I know that that is true about me, I can also know it's true about everybody. That everyone has a request of the rest of us. Handle with care, please. Precious and fragile content inside. And when I thought that I never followed through with making those stickers, those patches, those sweatshirts, those t-shirts, it occurred to me that though I didn't make them, I have been practicing the art of seeing them, though they be invisible, on the people that I encounter. I have found myself thinking about that more times than I can count, remembering that this is true about every sister or every brother I will ever encounter. I know that there have been times where I have been at a restaurant and the person taking my order and serving me appeared to have no tableside manners whatsoever. They seemed curt. It seemed as though they would rather be doing anything than waiting on our table and serving us. The energy was not becoming. And instead of buying into it and being upset with the person, or sitting there and going, well, this is certainly not worthwhile of a good tip. Rather than that, I went, I see them wearing an invisible sign. Handle with care, please. Precious and fragile content inside. It did not shift their behavior. It shifted my world in that moment. I do not need to know why. I do not need to know what's going on with them. I need to be in charge of what's going on with me. Every single one of us, regardless of how we present, regardless of how completely self-assured we appear, how strong, each of us wears an invisible sign that I practice seeing. Handle with care, please. Precious and fragile cargo inside. Precious and fragile content inside. I shared this on Christmas Eve as part of what was coming through, and I received so much feedback from honest speaking people. There's one woman who has always known that about her and has never known that about her husband. She has always known that she herself desires to be handled with care, please, because she is aware that she herself has precious and fragile content inside. She and her husband went home to talk about that particular thing among a couple of others on Christmas Eve. And she was shocked and stunned. So for the very first time, in knowing him for over 20 years and being married to him for 18, she was only on Christmas Eve 2025 made aware that he is as precious and as fragile inside as she was. He always seemed to be filled with such macho power, no emotion showing on his sleeves, just pushing on with great confidence, in full authority, with no confusion. And so on that evening, Wednesday, he revealed to her the depth of his fragility and the strength of his armor that he shields it with. Because as a man, as a provider, as a husband, as a father, he cannot show his vulnerability. But because of that peace they were talking about, he revealed it for the first time. And they claim it changed everything. She saw him as completely different. To her, he was almost like a foreigner, an alien. How can he not be fragile ever? That was a transformation. I had many people who gave me feedback. You know what? I have always known that about me, that I am precious and fragile content inside. But I have made up all of my life that there were only few of us who are like that. It never has occurred to me that the others are like that, that we all are like that. And so it made me feel less than. But Reverend Carlos, when you spoke that to be true for all of us, it was for the first time that I thought, that's true about my mom. That's true about my sister. I've never once looked at her and considered that she is precious and fragile. She's so sassy. If we begin to look at one another with the eyes of a deeper compassion and a greater understanding, it will transform our lives. The more and the more and the more and the more we do this, the more fun we will have, the more peace we will have, and the more joy we will have. If there are those in your life who you have never considered this about, I beg you do. Everyone is wearing an invisible sign, asking for the same thing, and declaring the same truth. Handle with care, please. Precious and fragile content inside. If there is someone you can think of that you have never known this about, choose to know this about them. Some of the most fragile have learned to present as not fragile at all. Some of the ones who appear to be heartless to a great degree are the most fragile of all, covering up with layers and layers and layers and layers of armor for their own protection. Know it for them until they come to know it, that they're worthy of being handled with care. Love is the answer. Always has been. Always will be. Love is the answer. Always has been. Always will be. Love is the answer. Always has been. Always will be. I see your sign. I see your sign. You are precious and fragile content. Holy cargo. I will treat you and handle you with care. Amen.